We just saw What If, and on this show I take my friends, we go see a movie, we do a quick spoiler-free review in the car right after we see it, and then we have a discussion after that. So if you're on the fence trying to decide if you want to see this movie or not, watch the review part, and if you've already seen it or don't care to and just want to know everything we thought and don't care about spoilers and those sorts of things, watch the second half because we'll get into that. So this is pretty much the romantic comedy it makes itself out to be. Doesn't really break any seriously new ground, but it's also not badly executed. It feels like kind of on the quirky side, I guess, of a romantic comedy, but not like in a overly annoying sort of way. And it's very predictable, but it's still likable, and the characters are fine, and Daniel Radcliffe is really good. I enjoyed it just fine. I would say it was probably a fine, date movie to go see and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think there seem to be some people at our showing that weren't happy with it. And I think that had to do with, honestly, if I had to guess, it had to do with the fact that the characters in the movie are young adults, and they don't necessarily, we're used to seeing young adults playing like teenagers in movies. So I think they were uncomfortable with the amount of sex and stuff that was going on with these young looking people, which, if they were playing 17-year-olds, that would be one thing, but they're not. They're playing young adult
I guess
people.
I didn't pay attention to what had happened immediately before they...
So that's my interpretation of what drove them away, but I didn't have a problem with it at all, and it's certainly not there's not nudity in this movie, so I don't know.
I think we saw Daniel Radcliffe's butt.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so
not...
if that's motivating to you, I guess. Yeah.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a relatively inoffensive romantic comedy. I guess it depends what your expectations are. My expectations were fairly low, and I think they were met. However, if I was looking for, like you said, something more original, something a little different than your routine boy meets girl, girls in a relationship, they're star-crossed, and then they come together at the end, then it's the same formula that you see pretty routinely. So
yeah, so that's the basic review. It's definitely, if you watch the trailer and you think it looks like fun, or you want to see Daniel Radcliffe, or just looking for a good date movie, I think it's probably a good pick. And as far as whether to see it in the theater or not, that's totally your call. You're not going to lose anything seeing it on Netflix later, that kind of thing. But I do think it's something that's probably more fun to see on a date than by yourself. That being said, going into the discussion part of it, there were some interesting things going on. They sort of worked some animation into the movie, which I didn't expect, and they didn't really overdo that or overplay that. It just kind of showed up here and there to sort of show passage of time or highlight something that was going on. I'm not down on the movie at all. I don't have a problem with it at all, and I probably would, if I were younger, I think I would probably like the movie more.
Honestly, that's what I was going to say. I think we're on a little old for it.
Yeah, I mean, not that we can't appreciate what's going on there, but sort of the realizing how to be in a relationship with someone and be honest about how you feel about them, and all of those sorts of things.
I mean, I'd say that the target audience is probably people in their early 20s. I think that's probably the group of people. I don't really consider Daniel Radcliffe to be a male lead. In my head, he's still Harry Potter. He's still a little boy. But I think there are a group. I mean, I think for people in their early 20s, yes, he was Harry Potter, but they grew up with him, and so he was that sort of cute little kid that grew up to be a cute teenager that they kind of had a little bit of a crush on.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, the relationship part of it is very much would resonate with 20-somethings who are figuring out that you get to a point in your life where you have to you can get in situations where you have to decide whether you're going to pursue relationships for the sake of relationships or whether you want something more from them, and what you want, and whether that balance between what you're getting from a relationship and what you want with the rest of your life is really valid. And I think they portrayed that very realistically.
Yeah, that's true. I would have a hard time, I think, watching it again just because of the score. Because the score is so tedious. Like, it's the same sort of cues every time something
I know, honestly,
gushy happens.
It didn't make any impact on me at all.
Lots of oohs going on.
Yeah.
Not like the Full House ooze, but more like the Shins type ooze.
Yeah.
That sort of feel for it. Yeah, it felt like they were trying to get like a bit of a Wes Anderson thing going, especially with some of the artwork in the beginning and that kind of stuff. But overall, I mean, yeah, it was perfectly fine, and
it kind of made me want to go to Toronto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a nice...
Toronto's great. I love Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a nice city scene, and that, a side note.
Yeah. So anyway, what if? Go see it or don't.
Yeah.
What if you do? What if you don't? If you like the way we do these reviews, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written video reviews at dalemaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.